Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let's talk about Angela. And the reason why I want to talk about Angela is because I was reading a little bit of Spawn with her in it, and then I was reading some of the stuff that they had with her after she came to the Marvel Universe. And I think Neil Gaiman is such a dumbass right now. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Neil Gaiman created, written and created the Sandman universe in the DC universe, right? And that deals with angels, hells, all of that nonsense. So the fact that Neil Gaiman finally won the character, the full ownership of the character, even though, that's not, to me, I still don't understand how that works. It's the same thing as how the courts did the same thing with Captain Marvel and Superman thing. Bullshit on bullshit. But anyway, the fact that he won the court case for Angela, and the first thing he does when he gets full ownership is he sells it to fucking Marvel. Why? And now she's the long lost sister of Thor as Angela, Olin Sturden. It's stupid. It's stupid. And the reason why I say it's stupid is because look at them. They wasted a badass female warrior character and they made her part of the Thor mythos and really hasn't done much with her besides, oh look, now she is also a lesbian, because that's what people want to see with Angela. That's what people fell in love with the character, even though she was established in the Spawn universe as a darn straight woman. And that's another problem too. You get what I'm saying? You have a character that already had a following, that has 30 years of history in the Spawn universe, and you bring her into the Marvel universe, and instead of just having her, tweaking a little bit of her story where, well, no, not even tweaking, just she came from another damn fucking universe. How many Marvel characters are from literally a different universe? Even if it is from a different publisher, y'all make it work beforehand. So why you couldn't make it work with Angela makes absolutely no sense. You completely changed everything about the character, It made absolutely no damn logical sense. But hell, all this shows was the disrespect of the Norse mythology that's been set up in the Marvel universe ever since the late 2010s. They've been like deconstructing the Asgardian myths and Norse mythology and just doing whatever the fuck they want with the Norse mythology instead of just following what the Norse mythology had. Yeah, you can add a few things, quote unquote, there, but nothing feels like it's part of Asgard. Nothing feels like it's part of Norse mythology. It feels like it's just them just throwing shit at the wall and hoping something will stick. And that's fine for other characters, but when you're using myths like Egyptian and Norse mythology and Greek mythology, people really love their mythology. And if you're going to add something, that's fine. You can do cool things with it. You've seen how Percy Jackson done things with before. So it's not impossible to do, make some changes or whatever, but while respecting the lore of it. But it just seems like y'all just want to just completely keep trying to retcon things around. And let me get back to, and the reason why I'm saying I think Neil Gaiman was stupid for selling Angela to Marvel is because Neil wrote the Sandman universe. Could you imagine if Neil Gaiman had sold that to DC Universe? She could have been in the Sandman universe. You know what I'm saying? Because the character is so tied to heaven and hell that, that's where a lot of DC mystical, heavenly, hellbound characters are at in the world anyway. And the Vertigo line was literally because you had a different side of the DC universe that we never get a chance to see, and you can have Angela in that world. It would have made way more sense to make Angela part of the Sandman universe, the Vertigo line, or whatever. Hell, you could even made her like you could made her a sometimes ally of Wonder Woman, for God's sakes. That would increase the whole thing, because Wonder Woman also fights with Greek gods and sometimes take on some stuff. You can have her go throughout the magic side of the DC universe, which, you know, dealing with Dr. Fate, Zatanna, John Constantine, you know what I mean? All of the mystical arts of that kind of stuff. You could have easily done that, but you didn't. You sat up there and wasted Angela and made her basically a female Thor, a female Thor character. I mean, basically, that's what she is. She is literally female Thor with a sword and a badass attitude. That's about all she got. But honestly, there's nothing really interesting about her in the Marvel universe. I read the books. I didn't read all of the books, but I read a few stories where she was there. But her solo run really wasn't all that interesting. They came out of nowhere talking about she had a female lover that made absolutely no damn logical sense. The Princess of Asgard, and you're gonna have her a fucking lesbian? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. You know? Not when we saw Angela smooching with Spawn and other male characters in the Spawn universe. And another reason why I would have said you could do with DC, because even with the whole pulling of the timeline or whatever and stuff like that, there has been moments in time where DC cracked beyond other universes and characters from those properties into the DC universe. You can do the same thing where she still has her history with Spawn, but now she's more now that she's part of DC, she's gonna be tied more to, you know, the universe. I mean, the mystical hell side of DC universe, because it just only makes more logical sense. And in that way, you know, what you could have did is when you did Justice League Dark, she could have been a prominent character as well. So you would have had Wonder Woman, you would have had Zatanna, you would have had Angela, or whatever. So then, even if Wonder Woman did leave, you would have had Angela, because she would have had so much experience because of her time in the Spawn universe, where, you know, she can't return to that universe anymore. But then you can start, you know, you can have a mystical character that can kind of merge a little bit of her history of Spawn with the history of the DC universe, or just treat her like she was always there. So some of her stories or whatever is hinted and told to, but they're just not going to mention Spawn. You get what I'm saying? So you can still do her stories. Just pretend like she's always been in the DC universe. And I think she would have been a better fit at DC than she would have been at Marvel, which honestly I really think that she really should actually be at DC universe. If I was them, I give the character up, because honestly, what is the character doing, really? And I understand, you know, you don't want certain people to have the character or whatever, but I don't know what the hell Neil Gaiman was thinking when he decided, oh, you know what would be great if I actually put Angela in the Marvel universe instead of the DC universe, where I have a whole entire world that talks about heaven and hell, all of the mystical magic side of DC, and you decided, let me give it to Marvel so Marvel can create Thor, a sister that he really doesn't need and hasn't even been seen or heard of in the DC universe. So I don't understand what was the problem. I mean, what was the point of that in the first place? You know, what a waste of a character. What a waste of the point of Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman creating this character, and then you get ownership of it, and then first thing you do is give it to DC instead of, I don't know, giving it back to Todd McFarlane, who actually wanted to do something with this. You see what I'm saying? You see how that was so petty of Neil Gaiman? You finally have full ownership of the character, and first thing you do is you pawn it off to Marvel instead of, I don't know, pawning it off to maybe, you know, DC, where a lot of your classical characters, your iconic stuff is at. Make it make sense. But hey, it is what it is. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like Angela? Do you think Angela belongs in the Marvel universe? Do you think she belongs in the DC universe and she can't be in the Spawn universe? Let me know. But those are my thoughts. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.